Welcome to It's Not Just Menopause, the podcast that empowers you to navigate midlife with confidence through real talk, root cause insights, and no BS strategies that actually work. If you're dealing with fatigue, stubborn weight, brain fog, or just feeling off and overlooked, this show is for you. Discover what's really going on with your hormones and why it's not just about estrogen. Each episode breaks down what your doctor didn't explain, the internet got wrong, and what your body's been trying to tell you all along. From stress and metabolism to nervous system support and functional nutrition, we'll cover the tools that help you feel more like yourself, again, without restrictive diets, overwhelming plans, or hormone hype. I'm your host, Cindi, functional nutrition practitioner and certified menopause specialist. I'm here to guide you through the midlife noise so you can stop guessing, get the clarity you deserve, and finally take back control of your health. If you've ever felt dismissed, overwhelmed, or like your body just isn't responding the way it used to, you're in the right place. Let's rewrite the menopause story without the fluff. Hey everybody, welcome back to It's Not Just Menopause. Today I wanted to talk to you about something that I see over and over again with women who start a GLP-1. They do the research, right? We are the ones that research it to death sometimes. She'll talk with her doctor, and if her doctor's on board with it, and don't get me started, that's a whole other episode. And then she finally decides to start the medication. She's hopeful, she's excited, she's convinced this might finally be the thing that helps, right? And I know what that feels like. Then a few weeks later, she's nauseous, exhausted, barely eating, wondering why she's losing muscle, frustrated that her energy is tanking, or disappointed that her results aren't matching what she thought that they would be at this point. And then comes the question, what am I doing wrong? Many times the answer is nothing. You know, women tend to blame themselves, right? But there is something that's missing, and you just don't know about it, so it's not like you're doing anything wrong, okay? And today I want to walk you through the 4 biggest gaps I see in women using GLP-1 medications during perimenopause and menopause. Because the medication matters, but what you do while you're on it matters just as much. So let's start with the first one. So most women start a GLP-1 without anyone explaining what balanced nutrition looks like on the medication, right? They're told what the medication does. They're told what the dose is for them, right? They're warned about the side effects. But nobody sits down and says, here's how you should actually be eating. Okay, and that's the problem. That's a huge problem because eating less is not the same as eating well. The medication suppresses appetite. It's doing its job, right? That's what it's supposed to do. But it doesn't tell you what belongs on your plate. And when you're in perimenopause or menopause, that matters even more. Your body isn't responding to food the same way it did at 30. Insulin sensitivities changes, muscle mass actually declines. This is before GLP-1. Fat storage patterns shift, recovery changes, hunger cues change. Yet most women are still trying to follow nutrition advice that was never designed for this stage of life. So they guess. They eat whatever sounds good. They skip meals because they're not hungry. They hope they're doing it right. And unfortunately, guessing has consequences. The medication opens a window, but what you put in your body determines what happens inside that window. Before we get back to today's episode, I've got a quick question for you. Feel like your body's in chaos, but your labs are normal? You're not crazy, you're not broken, and you're definitely not alone. If you've been told it's just menopause or to wait it out, it's time for real answers. Take my free quiz, What's Really Driving Your Menopause Symptoms. In under 2 minutes, you'll uncover your top hidden stressor and get my free guide, The Menopause Stress Fix, sent straight to your inbox. Head to cindistickle.com/quiz or click the link in the show notes. If you're doing everything right, but still feel like a mess, this quiz is your next step. All right, let's get back to today's episode. And there is a specific way to structure nutrition that works with both menopause and a GLP-1. Most women have simply never been taught what that looks like. And now the second thing women are missing is something I talk about all the time. So if you're a listener, you know this: protein. Okay. So if you've listened to this podcast before, you know this one was coming, right? Because protein becomes even more important once a GLP-1 enters the picture. The medication suppresses appetite, again, doing its job, which means it's incredibly easy to undereat protein without realizing it. And when protein intake drops, muscle becomes the collateral damage. And that's a huge problem because muscle is your metabolic savings account. Muscle supports blood sugar. Muscle helps support strength. Muscle helps support healthy aging. Muscle helps support metabolism. For crying out loud, muscle will burn calories while you're sleeping. Who does not want that, right? And in menopause, it's already making muscle preservation harder, right? We're already losing muscle in perimenopause and menopause, okay? So the last thing we want is to accelerate muscle loss by undereating protein. The medication is not going to protect your muscle. Only what you eat can do that. And of course, strength training, you have to do that too. That's a non-negotiable. Yet most women have no idea how much protein they actually need. Hello, macro coach, I can tell you. They don't know what it looks like on a plate. Nutritionist, I can tell you. And they don't know how to get enough, eat enough when appetite is low. Which brings me to the third thing most women are missing. Low appetite feels like success at first, right? And honestly, that's understandable. If you've spent years feeling hungry, food focused, or constantly battling cravings, suddenly not thinking about food can feel amazing, right? No food noise, right? But eventually a new problem shows up. You're not hungry. Nothing sounds good. You don't feel like eating. And because you're not hungry, you assume you don't need food. But those are not the same thing. One of the most important things women need to understand is not being hungry does not mean your body doesn't need nourishment. Okay? Your body still needs protein, it still needs nutrients, it still needs energy. Your body is still living and going on whether you're eating or not. But if you're not eating, it's slowly going to be dying, right? So when food intake drops too low for too long, your body starts adapting, but not in a good way. Energy drops, recovery suffers, muscle loss increases, and sometimes progress stalls. Most women have no strategy for low appetite days. They just wing it. And that works until it doesn't. Learning how to nourish your body when you don't feel like eating is a skill. And it's one that becomes incredibly important on a GLP-1. Now let's talk about the fourth thing most women are missing. Okay, so you have nausea, fatigue, constipation, hair changes, plateaus. These are some of the most common complaints that I hear. And too often women are told that's just part of being on the medication. Kind of like when they're told that's just aging, that's just menopause, right? It's a line of crap. But what I see over and over again is that many side effects are actually nutrition problems. 99% of them, the side effects are caused by nutrition, okay? Think about what happens. You feel nauseous, so you eat less. Your protein drops. Hydration drops. You're not drinking because you're not eating. Fiber drops. Overall nutrition drops. Now you're more tired, more constipated, more depleted. And the cycle keeps, no pun intended, feeding itself, right? It just keeps going and going. And eventually women start wondering if the medication is even worth it. The good news is that side effects are signals, okay? They're clues. They're your body's way of telling you something needs attention. And there are specific nutrition strategies that can address specific side effects. Most women simply haven't been taught what those strategies are, which means they keep pushing through something that may actually have a solution. Hello, who doesn't want a solution? And that's exactly why I created what I'm about to share with you. The 4 gaps we talked about today show up over and over. I see it all the time. I saw it in me on a GLP-1. No clear nutrition foundation, that I did have. Not enough protein, no strategy for low appetite, and side effects that never got properly addressed. I never had side effects because I already had my nutrition foundation, which is what I teach people, okay? And that's exactly why I created the Fuel method, Fuel, because what I keep seeing was women being handed a medication without being given a roadmap for how to support their body while they're on it. Okay. Fuel is a nutrition framework designed specifically for women in perimenopause and menopause who are using GLP-1 medications. It's not another diet. It's not calorie counting. If you have been around a while, you know I had a press release and 2 articles written. I have the first ever program of GLP-1, functional nutrition, and nervous system regulation. Okay, it's the first one out there. And the press release was the proof that it's the first one out there. And so it's not generic GLP-1 advice. It's a practical framework built around the exact challenges women face when they're trying to lose weight, preserve muscle, support metabolism, and actually feel good while using these medications. Each letter of Fuel addresses one of the gaps we talked about today, and together they create a much more supportive way to approach this journey. So if you found yourself nodding along during this episode and thinking that's exactly what's happening to me, please know that you are not failing. It's not on you. You don't need more willpower. You don't need to eat less. That's the last thing you need right now. And you don't need to keep guessing your way through this process. You need a strategy that supports both the medication and the body you're living in right now. If you'd like to learn more about the Fuel method, please check the link in the show notes. And if this episode really, really helped you, please share it with another woman who needs to hear this, okay? Because you know there's someone out there that needs this. Because the medication is only part of the story, and how you support your body while you're on it matters just as much. So thank you for listening, and I will be in your headphones next week. Thank you for tuning into It's Not Just Menopause. I hope today's episode gave you real clarity about what's actually going on in your body and reminded you that it's not just your hormones and it's definitely not your fault. If you found value in this conversation, make sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Cindi Stickle Nutrition or head to cindystickle.com for more resources and personalized support on your menopause and midlife health journey. Until next time, keep questioning what you've been told and trust that your body is not broken. You just need the truth and the tools that actually work.